Hey guys, it's me, Cowgirl. Welcome back to another tutorial. Now, like I said in my last video, I'm going to do a watercolor demonstration tutorial. So this last summer I went to an art camp in my town and I learned some very cool watercolor techniques that I want to share with you today. And I also learned one that I saw on YouTube from my favorite YouTuber, Dramatic Parrot, but I'm not going to demonstrate that one in this video, but I'm going to show my piece to you guys and tell you and you guys can tell me if you want a video done on it. So right here, this is a demonstration of what I learned this summer at camp. It's a picture of Brer Fox and Brer Rabbit from Song of the South. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're better acquainted with them through Splash Mountain at Disneyland. So I'm going to show you today basically the basics on how I made this picture. So let's jump right into it, and I'll be demonstrating on this basic sketch of Eeyore. But first, let's talk about supplies. First, a watercolor tablet. These are not very expensive. You can get them at basically any craft or art store near you. You can get them in tablets, but there are also watercolors that come in tubes, like acrylic paint, that you can get. I think those are a little more expensive, but I would just stick with the tablet. It's easiest to use. Then of course you need brushes and water, because they're watercolors. Best paper to use for this is watercolor paper. It will come in tablets, and my tablet costs probably $12. It's really thick paper, very absorbent, so it's the best paper to use. Do not use regular computer paper. It will pretty much ruin your painting. So let's just jump right in. Now, sorry, there was a little accident with my phone, so some of it is already painted, but there are two ways you can go about applying the color. You can do what you probably most people do, like when they watercolor when they're kids, and they just dip the brush in the water and then they swirl it around on the color they want and then just paint. But what I learned at camp is another way, and I think this is the best way if you want to blend colors to do it. So you find the spot where you want your color, and then you dip your brush in the water and just brush that spot with water. And the darker you want the color, the less water you apply. So I'm gonna take light blue from my tablet. After that, you just do it like you would normally do if you've watercolored before. Swirl your brush around in the paint and then just paint right on top of the water. If you want it to be lighter, then you just add more water. If you use this technique, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but it will still look really cool. And remember, the less water, the darker the color will be. Now, I bet you guys didn't know this, but fun fact, you can actually erase watercolor in a way. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to take this light blue and I'm just going to paint his back here. And let's just say that I didn't want that part of his back to be blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take water And I'm going to dab it all over that section that I just painted. Just gob water on there, just keep applying water, and then I can take my paper towel and press it on that spot, and then see, it's kind of almost gone. And you can do that to fix any blemishes or kind of erase in a way that spot if you don't want it there. Now I know I am moving kind of fast, so just bear with me. Next we're going to move on to blending. And like I've been saying in this video, the darker the color, the less water you want. So I'm going to apply darker blue to his ear over here. And this is where the old technique of just dipping the brush in the water and then swirling the paint comes in handy. So you're just going to dip that brush in the water and just paint any spot where you want to be darker. And then you just blend it together by taking just a little bit of water on the end of the brush and blending the light and the dark seamlessly, or about seamlessly. And if you remember my Tantone sketchbook video, how I use different colors to make shadows instead of just being monochrome with the colors, that works here too. Just, you have to kind of do it in a precise order. You can't just take a yellow and dark green and mix them together. That's gonna come out a really gross color. So you have to take your lightest color and then build on top of that. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to paint this, the light blue that we've been using. I'm going to take the light blue, just apply it. And when I work with blues, I often like to use purples as shadow for making shadows. So there's a purple there. I'm just going to do that old-fashioned technique of swirling it on the tablet. And I'm just gonna do the same as if I was just doing normal old blue. Now as you can see, there's a that purple is very strong, so it almost doesn't really look right. So I'm gonna take the light blue that we've been using and kind of brush over it to blend it. You don't want to brush over that entire purple spot. This is kind of just getting rid of that strong, obvious, blatant line where the purple and blue meet. So those are the basic watercolor techniques. I'm not going to paint this entire sketch of Eeyore, I was just showing you. But this will really come in handy with this technique. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of that, but this is called the Galaxy technique. And this is the one I learned from, again, Dramatic Parrot. It's a really cool watercolor technique where you use what I just did on Eeyore's back to create these wavy, swirly galaxy patterns around a picture, which is in this case Simba and Nala. And then at the end you take white puffy paint or gouache, which is kind of like white out for watercolor, and you just make these beautiful star patterns, and it's a really cool technique. If you want me to make a video to go more in depth with it, then I can do that if you guys want to. But that is basically it for this Watercolor Basics video. So I hope this helped if you want to make a watercolor painting. So don't forget, I'm working on my 5 Nights at Freddy's series. So you can request any character from any of the games for me to draw. So far I've done Springtrap and Freddy. I'm planning on redoing Foxy because my last Foxy tutorial I didn't really like. So also coming up, I'm doing a very special Halloween video, and I'm not going to tell you what that's about yet, but it won't have to do with painting or drawing, I will tell you that. And it will not be a tutorial, it'll be more of like a showcase, like what I did with my sketchbooks. And don't forget, you can still request any cartoon, video, Disney, animated character for me to draw, anything at all. So, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.